love it when I turn up the bass.
Well, I do believe we may be live now. I'm not certain if anybody.
Yeah, good.
Oh.
Who the fuck would give you power?
Anyway, Tiny, that thing you was on about earlier on, that where your asshole's itchy, that's where you're not wiping your ass properly, mate. Just chuck some cream on it and start cleaning yourself up a bit more.
Yeah, you could sit on the grass and scoot forwards.
Yeah, try that. Yes, mate.
I don't have problems with not wiping my arse properly. I was brought up right and shown how to wipe my arse properly from a very young age. Now, if you have a problem with an itchy arse, then that's your problem.
And he might be small, Gammon, but his arms are quite long.
Yeah, maybe it's something you should take up with your doctor.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just carry on the conversation you was having with us a minute ago, mate. I mean, don't ask us for medical opinions and advice, and then when we give it to you, start, like, changing the narrative.
Gammon.
Yep.
Shut up. Go on, Flux. Let's roll.
Well, do you know what? I'm just going to follow on from what he just said about medical advice. Have you seen the change from the advice from the Joint Committee for Vaccine Immunisation, the JCVI, and the it's called an agency. It's the Public Agency for Inoculation and Health Products, and they're both giving conflicting stories on what remedial stuff might be given to pregnant women. One is saying pregnant women should not have this thing, and the other one from the government in consecutive days said it's no problem, they should.
I know that Mr. John Looney was saying something about there being an excess in stillbirths and miscarriages.
I wasn't. I was talking about to our own government, our two major health organisations, both contradicting each other. One saying give pregnant women this, whatever it may be, and it doesn't affect breastfeeding women. Another one says, "Oh, don't really think that's a good idea," and doesn't recommend it. So this is from our own fucking government.
Yeah, heads or tails.
Yeah.
Sweet science we're supposed to trust.
Yeah. I thought we were.
Nobody.
None of them. They'll just move to goalpost.
I thought we weren't doing any more of this fucking vaccination because it's all been proved it don't work and it's a load of shit.
We still don't know what the vaccinated actually against.
Yeah, exactly. You say it don't work. What doesn't work exactly? People are dropping like flies.
Well, it don't do what it says on can, does it?
Yeah, but but that's what we've been told. What it says it does on the can.
It doesn't protect you. Just look at who's been infected. Biden. Let's just take that bloke. How many times has he got something wrong with him recently?
Yeah,
three times. And how many times has he apparently taken something that was to stop him getting and or transmitting that thing?
been Dr. Frosty at least 3 times.
Wasn't there a person who had 18 jabs?
Well,
let me double check this. I swear there's a person who travelled across there to another country to get more jabs and they ended up with 18 or something.
I heard some weirdo something about that. Yeah, but
6.
yeah, that's just a fucking insane mental
6
person.
is the most I've heard.
Like, the thing is, if they're telling us it does one thing and it doesn't do that, which we know it doesn't, what is their alternative motive? What are they saying to each other in the background? Maybe it's doing exactly what they want, is killing people off at a fast rate.
Hang on. I think you've got to be careful what you say. Personally, it's not my channel. I think you need to be very careful about what you say. That's why I only quoted Dr. John Campbell, who's allowed on YouTube, and gave this evidence earlier on today. JCVI said this day one. The governing body on products and health gave a different advice, contradictory advice day 2, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. It's a day apart, consecutive days from our own government. That is fucked up for pregnant women. Women that are carrying the future generations. Really? Really?
I
Yeah.
know a member of my family had a lot of menstrual and trouble for a few days or so.
It's beyond me.
Ron just said there's a guy who got a jab for everyone else pretending to be there.
To
Oh,
be the
that's
what?
cool. You got a jab. Rotten politics is in. Thing.
Hello, Rob.
For everyone else.
Hmm.
Got a jab for everyone else. He's now a saint.
Yeah.
Hmm. It is.
Yeah.
He did it for money. Are you kidding? God, there's some people. Nobody knows what's in it, and there's
We
this
know
guy
he's the
giving
man.
up for money. He might not have ever been able to spend money because he might have been dead, because he might have been allergic to what's in it. Because let's face it, and this isn't a pretend or a what you call it. We don't know what's in it because
He wanted to be the richest man in the graveyard.
Right.
He jabs. What the hell?
Holy shit!
Well, again, another one from. Gosh, I hate to re-quote this same guy, Dr. John Campbell. I know a lot of people are going to have different and saying, "Oh, don't trust the cunt." He goes long-worded, winded, and blah blah blah. Paid opposition. I get all of that. I totally understand where anybody comes from saying that. However, another one, statistic, because I, often go to the end of the video, is the amount of the increase in mortality rates around the world, and by medical procedure levels, and he calculated it between either 1021, very close to that figure, or more likely closer to 21,000 excess. And it's like,
yeah, the cure's worse than the
what?
problem.
It's just pure evil, in my opinion. It's pure evil.
Yeah.
And you were saying, Callow, how could somebody do that? Take those amount of jabs for money. Well, how about these GPs giving out those amounts of preventative, very good medicines for extra money? And what about what about the news presenters that are selling their fucking souls, peddling bullshit left, right, and centre, feeding this false agenda that there is a left and right, when in fact there isn't. They're getting us fighting amongst our fucking selves, and it's ridiculous.
Well, there's a doctor that's just apparently met his maker, and he was a triathlete, healthy, all this sort of thing. And now there's questions over that. But this is a type of person that is meant to know if something's happening. He's gone, oh yeah, that sounds really good, and he's sort of taken it, and this has happened. Well, he's been quite complicit in what he was involved with.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, at the end of the day, if these doctors got this money for giving jabs and that, then my doctor didn't do that because he asked me because he didn't realise I hadn't been jabbed. First time I've seen him in 5 years anyway. And he said, so have you had your boosters? I went, I haven't had any jabs. And he said, why? And I said, well, no offence. I says, one, I don't know what's in it. You lot keep saying it's safe, but you don't know what's in it. So how do you know that I'm not allergic to something in it? The question that begs to be answered is, what is in it? And you should be asking me, am I allergic to anything in it? Because every time you prescribe me anything else, you said to me, are you allergic to this, or this? And
they don't want you to believe your own eyes, your own thoughts, your own information, your own informing yourself. They just want you to forget all that.
Right. So at the end of the day, like, he didn't have an answer for that, and he just said, okay, if you want to talk about it, he says it is safe. I says, but is it? I says, you're telling me that it's gone through testing.
Rigorous testing where they
Yes.
didn't test when they did test it on the animals, they fucking stopped it because it was fucking doing something that led to them taking the floor temperature challenge.
Yeah, starting from 2015.
But we ended it there, and he said, "Look, if you need to talk about it, I recommend you have it." And I said, "I'm not having it." I said, well, simple reason is I had used to be a work colleague, who was a friend, but that's how I met. We were a work colleague. And he had the first jab, and we were talking, and he was taking piss. He says, "Yeah." There's no to it. He took the second jab, and when he come out of hospital, he texts me saying, "No, there's no to it. It's a piece of piss." And then I got rung up and told that he's dead. He had a blood clot. Now, you can make it what of that you want, but the point of the matter is, he didn't have a matter with him before.
A lot of sudden death syndrome, isn't there?
Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, nah, I'm not having that. I don't want to risk that. You know, the same age as me. Nah,
especially the joggers and the actual athletes in South Africa. There was a marathon race where apparently 2 died and about 78 were bloody hospitalised or needed medical attention.
But like that's the thing. Until we actually have a government or medical boards that actually do what they're supposed to do, and actually say, right, we are here for the people. Let's put an investigation into this. Let's find out what's gone off. Is there any proof that this contributed to this and whatever? Then we're never going to know truth. And do you think that the drug companies are going to allow that? I mean, you know, allegedly they're for that, but if they are allegedly for that, why did they try and get 75 years before they told
exactly?
Truth?
But they were forced to reveal it, weren't they? So let's hope that continues.
Well, the thing is, you work it out 75 years, and the reason why is because, well, for one starters, most people would probably be dead after the 75 year, so there would be nobody to be able to sue, even though they got a blank thing that said they couldn't be sued. But if they could, it don't matter whether the government or whatever said that they can't be sued. The truth is they can. And the reason being is if there's proof that they actually lied to Congress or they lied to our government, they broke laws. So they can technically, their immunity can be taken away from them. Because at the end of the day, if they lied to our politicians, and it's proven that they lied to our politicians, they could then be held account for all these deaths. And I personally think there is proof that they lied to our politicians, especially from that Fauci guy or whatever his name is.
Fauci. We also know him as Hugo Talks.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, he's been proven to lie. So at the end of the day, he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be told point blank. The more he lies, the longer he gets in prison, and it will all
help the fascists, did it?
Well, that's true, yeah. But like I said, it's not going to happen. Well, let's face it, it won't happen.
It won't. It's never going to happen. Just look at the fucking Clintons. Look at the Bidens, the Clinton crime family, and oh yeah,
surely one day, surely
that operate a completely legit and above board system. Yeah, it's all good.
Right,
a fucking goalpost like always.
Right, let's move on. Come on, Flux. Speed limit.
Hold on. I want to jump in on one last thing before we clear off this one.
Well,
the thing that I keep looking at with the whole thing when they sit there and turn around and saying, like, you know, trust us, it's fine, it's perfectly safe, and everything else we've done trials and blah blah blah. And I always look at the same thing. with the medication, you get 3 phases on normal, 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes there's a little bit more, and the distance between phase 2. Fucking spanner. Don't mind me. The difference between phase 2 and phase 3, they've got a set time between them. Not a set time, but there's normally a nice little gap between them to see if anything pops up in between.
Yeah.
And they've managed to get this smashed out in how long? From initial testing onwards. And it's like, there is absolutely no fucking way that you've actually managed to get any of this done. Because if they'd have done it properly with the gaps, all these sudden mysterious increases that's obviously not linked of blood clots, strokes, epilepsies, and heart problems, and just general problems with the blood and oxygen levels would have been popping up, and this would have been red flagged.
Yep.
Yeah, the rumours
So
were that 2015 all this sort of stuff was starting.
Well, yeah, but let's not forget the amount of deaths that are going to be contributed to the shutdown. What were it? The thing about there's going to be more deaths from the closure of like the NHS and things compared to the amount of so-called deaths of
Treatments.
the COVID. It's been proven that there were some dubious recording of COVID. So at end of
And
the
I was
day,
going to say,
Well,
let's
the
not
flu
forget,
disappeared.
and I was going to say, let's not forget, you could fall out of a plane without a parachute and be recorded as a
yeah.
yeah.
So at end of the day, it's like I said, I don't think politicians at this moment in time. I think if we're all alive in 100 years' time, well, you know, not us personally, but the children of the children of the children, you get what I mean? If they're alive, it might get released and they might then realise, yeah, I think we need to watch our politicians. But I doubt it. I mean, let's face it, we all know what's going on.
Well,
They're
let's be
getting
honest,
Leave it all to Gen Z.
they're being dumbed down.
Mm.
They are being
Oh, yeah.
dumbed down, and I've seen the scary videos from America where they go, you know,
Oh,
how many countries are there in America? And I laugh my tits off because it's scary. But you can do the same thing in England. You can do exactly the same thing. You can.
Yeah,
walk
I've
up-
seen it in England.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We're across the board. Maybe not the some of our other friendly people, but certainly the Western societies, UK and America in particular, are being dumbed right down.
Well, you notice that when all the A levels are getting passed, hardly any of the fuckers are going to school.
Yeah, well, apparently the A-level pass rate dropped, so it's not all being good news. I mean, you think about it, yeah. I always thought the idea of any country was to push the education of the people within that country. And
That's how dumbed down it's become. Jesus.
It's CRT, you know, critical race theory. It's Marxist ideology that's permeated all of our aspects of society. It's within our
Made it
fucking
easier.
judiciary. It's within our healthcare. It's within our fucking police force. Go on, Gam.
I was going to say, because I think I'm the only one in here that's currently got kids in the school system at the moment. And you'll love this one for a fucking shits and giggles to do.
You'd be surprised.
Well, my eldest, he doesn't do history, and there's another class he doesn't do because they've shoved him in to do more PSHE, because obviously their indoctrination of him is not working because I've given him enough information that he's gone out and found more information and has seen that it's bullshit. You know, case in point, I was fucking talking to him about the book burnings going on in Germany when we was at a museum the other day. But anyway, I get a fucking phone call from the school. The wife gets a phone call from the school. I've had about an hour's sleep. I've been up a long time beforehand, and I'm not the most pleasant person on an hour's sleep when I've just been woken up. And the teacher's on the phone to my missus and going, "I would like your son to do, to come in, and we're going to do extra stuff to help him find a job when he leaves school." And I'll turn around and wait. If you stop trying to teach him how communism's fucking brilliant and that you can be identified as a toaster, you might actually do your job in the first place, which it is to prepare him for when he leaves school, rather than you trying to do my bloody job of trying to raise a man. So that's the trouble. That's why half these kids are retarded these days. They're not, and the history they're getting taught in schools is shit like fucking Windrush. You know,
They're making shit up, aren't they?
yeah, literally. And the fucking the worst classes is history, where they're just trying to make you hate yourself, and English, where they get every fucking lefty known bullshit book out there to try and fucking dumb them down again, like to tell them how bad they are because they're white. And that's why these kids are fucking that stupid these days, that when you turn around to them and go, "What's the capital of Scotland?" they ain't got a fucking clue. They can tell you
Canberra.
who Kim Kardashian is.
Yeah, Canberra.
Yeah, it's fucking... The school system, education system in the UK at the moment is painful, and they are producing fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We're building morons.
Yeah.
It is a factory for morons that are being told not to question, not to think for themselves. You think what we tell you to think.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, that leads on to a little bit, not onto the motorways, but leads on to a little bit. With everything we've just said, in bearing all of that in mind, Novak Djokovic not being allowed into the USA to play at the US Open, but every other fucker and his fucking donkey can walk over the border. And you and I can fly there, and we can even fly to Tijuana and walk across the border. Unvaccinated, no documentation, but you will abide by the rules because you will do as we are told, and you will believe the narrative that we tell you, and we can't have anybody that this... And I do not understand the lunacy, because surely anybody with a brain cell must be able to work out he's played everywhere else in the world.
Apart
Just
from
won
Australia.
Wimbledon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently the press secretary in America, Scooby Dum, said they can't walk over the border. But apparently then the Border Patrol told her that she was lying.
Yeah, what's that? Karine Pierre, Jean-Pierre or something?
Scooby Dum's a lot easier.
Yeah, her dumb fuck. I saw another one.
She can't be worse than AOC. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, please. No, you're right. She can't be worse than AOC. I think.
Oh no, there's always a Maxine Waters.
AOC, she's doing, does she? I mean, why people voted her in, then again, that's they probably didn't, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But so come on, let's move on. Liz Truss and speed limit. Come on.
Okay, right. Well, I don't know if anybody has that. Well, you all have. Of course you all have, especially Rotten, because he keeps his fucking eye on the news. But Liz Truss was talking about, in such a stunning, bold and brave movement, that she's going to get rid of smart, in inverted commas, motorways. First thing off is, what the fuck was smart about them in the first place? That's the first question.
Speed camera bit and the extra revenue for the government. That's a smart part.
We've got 2 truck drivers here. You carry on, guys.
Yeah. Well, I've been lucky so far. Fingers crossed, touch wood. I'm able to stop my way.
As Rotten just said, it was a national speed limit as well.
Yes.
Well, before we go down on that speed limit part, there are 2 different parts of the smart motorway network. You've got all lanes running, and then you've got the traditional side with a hard shoulder that during peak times that they can open up and turn that into all lanes running, and then close it back down as
I
well.
understand that.
Just to clarify.
Now explain to me the advantage of that if you break down there.
Right, okay. I'm going to which one? The one with the traditional hard shoulder or the all lanes running permanently?
All lanes running permanently.
Right, I will tell you exactly the government's spiel on it because I had to do it when I was doing some recovery work a while ago. So the whole idea of the smart motorway network is that any lane can be shut down at will and to control the management and the flow of traffic. This will mean that we also have a breakdown recovery lanes every fucking mile or so. Now, the whole idea of this is that it makes it safer and makes the flow of the traffic work. We have got 100% coverage of camera systems on these roads. That is their spiel. However, the camera systems that they've got are not 360 fucking cameras, so they only point in one direction at a time. Yes, they can be turned, but at that moment in time, the cameras are facing in one fucking direction. So straight away, we have a problem with the 100% visual. Secondly, most motorists ignore the red crosses. Why do most motorists ignore the red crosses? Because your smart motorway fucking shit is half the time you put up fucking restrictions and everything else for something that's happened miles down the road with the excuse of if you slow down traffic here, it keeps traffic flowing. Well, you're actually putting up signs saying warning pedestrians, even though it's a car on the other side of the motorway that's broken down and some geese are sitting up the embankment. Doesn't mean you should turn the other carriageway going northbound, for example, down to 40 mile per hour. There's the second thing. The third thing is the amount of fatalities that have occurred since then and serious crashes hitting stranded vehicles has increased. I can't remember quite the number. The only part of the smart motorway network that actually makes it safe is for recovery drivers when they're collecting a broken down vehicle, they can shut down 2 lanes. But the time it takes for them to react to it is what makes it dangerous. You break down in that lane, or lane 4, which I've seen idiots break down lane 4 and park there, it takes so long for them to actually pull their fingers out and get the communication going and shut down that lane. It's too late. From the moment you break down, you've running a risk within seconds of something hitting you. And even if you're in a fucking Volvo XC90, a Land Rover Defender, if you're stationary and someone in a fucking Nissan Micra crashes into the back of you at 70, you're going to fucking notice it. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. The things are purely there, and fuck the allegedly, purely there for the government to make money from the speed cameras and for the companies that have got the contracts to build this shit to rake a fortune off the government. For example, the M1 Junction 16 heading south, because how many fucking years have they been digging that road up? That company's laughing. They're making off with you guys.
Well,
there you go.
Well, do you know what? Fair play. It was only a innocuous comment, and you carried us on for another too long. But yeah, crack on.
Well, the thing is, these smart motorways were designed, when they first brought them out, they were designed to have a breakdown area every 800 yards. Now, when they contracted to do this, these contractors realised they weren't making any money because every 800 yards a breakdown lane, most cars, most lorries, depending on what fault is with the said lorry, will coast 800 yards. Yeah? Unless it's like something serious, like even with a flat tire, you can get it to go 800 yards. Now, the companies that were doing this realised that they weren't making enough money. So they then choked up to the planners into putting them every mile or whatever. Now, that's where the problems become. And not only that, on some of these motorways, that the so-called smart motorways, they didn't take into consideration was they couldn't have a breakdown lane or a breakdown area for anybody to pull into. I think the first accident actually happened, a big accident, happened on, was it the M6? When they turned up on that viaduct, they put it all live, and that family, grandparents and that broke down, and a lorry ploughed straight into back on it. Nothing they could have done. They just wiped the whole the grandparents and the grandkids out. Boom, gone. because the viaduct, there's nowhere for them to go. Once they break down on that viaduct, there was no area for them to go. It's like a bridge. So there was against the concrete wall. So where would they be able to go? Now that's been rectified. It's now got an hard shoulder. Now you would have thought by doing that with that, they would have gone, right, let's sort the rest out. Let's either add extra breakdown lanes, which I think they have done on M1, haven't they? They've actually added extra breakdown lanes for people to pull into.
Yeah, which has cost us even more taxpayers' money.
Yeah, and because they were adding extra, that meant that the cost of these lanes, because the government went, yeah, we need it whatever costs, because it's costing lives, they've got to charge whatever they like. And the thing that gets me is most of these companies aren't English or British or whatever you want to call them. So we've got foreign companies doing work on our motorways and our roads, and it's all about profit. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You've got to have profit. There's no ifs and buts about it. The only way you get better stuff or better understanding of things is by investing. But when they're charging like double of what normally, it's like it's wrong. We need to have it sorted out. You know, speed limits. Yeah, we all need speed limits. But this thing with Liz Truss says you get rid of speed limit, really? Does she mean she's going to get rid of the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit and lower it
Hold
down?
on a minute. How about these black boxes they were going to put in vehicles to keep them below a certain speed?
Well, that's the two things combined, isn't it? The first question is, what is the fuck is Liz Truss talking about when she's trying to gain popularity by getting rid of a fucking bad idea that I've no doubt she was involved in going, yeah, that's a great idea with the smart motorways. The next thing is the speed limit. Now then, I was talking to Gammon about this earlier, and it might be, well, Gammon would say this, I'm nicking your words, mate. Gammon said this might be unpopular, but I agree with him. I don't think it should be increased. There's too many fucking wankers on the road, especially not on our roads.
I agree.
Yep.
We don't have to road for it either.
No.
I'm going to. We have got the roads. We've got the road network. Sorry, go on, Tiny. I'll come in after.
I disagree, because at the end of the day, there are certain days and certain times when the speed limit could change. And let's face it.
Okay, I'm with you with that. Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, certain times a day. Now, the point is, and I know this is going to sound horrible, it's going to sound a bit mean and nasty, but lane hoggers need to be prosecuted
Definitely.
to the fullest extent. It is a joke. You're in a lorry. You're coming behind a slow lorry. You can't go anywhere because the guy at the side here is matching your speed. So you have to slow down. He then slows down with you. And you beat your own. And he looks at you and then he starts waving his fist at you, calling you whatever. And you're like, no, mate, you're in the wrong. If you don't want to do that speed, pull back into lane one. Let traffic start flowing. You know, it's like, especially on two lanes. Yeah, lorry drivers get a rap for overtaking, and I understand that. But here's the thing: I overtook a lorry on A1M. Yeah, and it's two lanes. If you've been up there, you know it's two lanes on certain parts of it. I was passing him no problem until we come to a bit of a downhill. And he was heavier than me, so he slid away from me. Now, I'm thinking, oh, this is making me look like a twat. Because at the end of the day, he's now pulling away from me. Thing was, I couldn't go back. I couldn't slot back into him because the lorry that was behind me had moved forward.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
you
I'm
know,
with you. I'm with you, mate. I mean, I don't drive HGVs, even as a normal driver. It gets on my tits so much. Somebody sitting in the middle lane. It's like, come on, dude. Come on. So I pull out into the middle lane. They're still sitting there.
Hmm.
It's like, what are you doing? There's other cars coming past me going a lot faster. I'm like, well, I don't want to go that speed. But you, cunt, are going too slow. Just fuck off. No,
Yeah.
totally understand.
Well, sticking with that, and for those that haven't driven on the German Autobahn, the whole road network is not open to go what the fuck speed you want to do. Most of the road network is speed limited. Out of the unlimited sections, most of them are only between 10, maybe 11 o'clock at night through to about 5 a.m. in the morning. But the German Autobahn, unless you're near a city, is predominantly 2 fucking lanes wide. It's a dual carriageway. And the reason why it works so well is because when you finished overtaking whatever the fuck you're overtaking in Germany, you move over.
Yeah.
This is the reason why it won't work in the UK, even though we got 4 lanes. Because you daft cunts out there sit in lane 3 and 4 or lane 2, because your attitude is, well, fuck everyone else. That's the reason why it won't work in the UK. The fastest fucking lane to use on the M1 past fucking Luton and Bedford with all the minicab drivers, where it's their brother's license, but they've got 17 of them on it, is to go up lane 1 and lane 2 with the HGVs, because you just fly past all the wankers in lane 3 and lane 4. It won't work in the UK, and I am going to admit something here. I treat the speed limit as advice, not as religious fucking doctrine. I like speed. I love it.
Huh.
And I love the idea of the German Autobahn. Yeah, I know. I'm coming all that. And I am saying to you lot right now, with our standard of driving in the UK, because you lot can't fucking drive, it won't work. Because somebody's going to be sat at the motorway doing 65, 60, 70 miles per hour in their overtaking lane, and you're going to get smashed into the back of you by some fucking Oxfam reject that's just gone out and financed out for an LDS3 and wants to see what 140 mile per hour feels like.
What if they make one lane?
I'll be back in a moment.
What if they make one lane that you can go any speed you like, but you have to pass something to be able to go in that lane?
Well, for one start, is one. We're having problems now. We're getting people through the test because there's a long delay. So can you imagine how long it'd take to get people through these courses so they could use that lane? It'd just be... and at the end of the day, it's another money-grabbing exercise, so no. I mean, yeah, I understand. I mean, but the speed limit for motorways, yeah, it needs reviewing. I'm not saying it should be unlimited. No, for God's sake, no. But it should be picked up or allowed at certain times a quicker pace.
And certain areas.
Yes.
Where the roads are big, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah. But will that happen? No.
No. A bit on this one, because I reckon there's a few of you boys already that might be a little bit naughty. I mean, Ethan's a bit of a closet one on this one. I reckon he's done it. How many of you, and we can also say it was on a racetrack or on a private road, how many of you gone faster than 110 in the vehicle with you driving?
Yep.
Yeah.
And how...
My client is taking the 5th.
And how quickly do you guys notice a difference with the stability of the car and what it feels like when you start braking at them sort of speeds? How unstable the cars feels, or the bike feels.
I went up to 140, and it was all feeling good, but I thought that's enough for
Kilometers.
me. Kilometers, obviously. Yeah, and that was enough for me. I was like, nah, this is good enough. No, fuck off. You go past. Fuck off.
And that's the thing I'm looking at.
And I tell you what, this is a true story. I was somewhere driving at that speed, and I was in a fast car myself, and another car pulled up. Fucking zoomed up behind me. I was like, fuck you, cunt. Boom, dropped it down a couple of cogs. Burr, burr, burr. And they were right on my arse up to 140. I pulled over, and it was a Volvo T... or V something, and it had a fucking granny driving it, and it left me for dead at 140.
Was that you in the other car, was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
But when you think about it, I mean, imagine what 5-10 years ago, the type of vehicles that we had. Now you look at the vehicles that we've got now.
Yeah, far superior in all things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got traction control, you've got anti-stability control, and everything that comes with these. You know what I mean? You've got automatic braking. If somebody does something stupid, I mean, I've got
Me
that.
and you both know that don't work properly.
Oh, really? Have you got it on your truck, Gatman?
Yes.
And have you ever had anybody pull out just cut across for you just that little bit too quick because they want that junction off?
Yeah, I have. I've also had it going down a fucking road and it picks up a road sign or a bridge when the truck's clean as well, may I add. And it still throws the fucking brakes on.
Yeah, well, that's a daft, but
No.
Yeah.
It's also a Volvo. It's supposed to be a Volvo as well, mate.
Right, let's move on. So on to what Tramp said about the EU speed limit box. How is that going to
Oh, hold on. Hang on. Oh, yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, carry on with that part. Yeah. I thought you were completely going away from it then.
No, carry on. No.
No, well, Tramp, you brought it up. You said, but how is this going to work?
No, I only brought it up as a part of the communication. If Gavin wishes to carry on, please carry on, Gavin.
No. No, I thought it was completely going away from this because there was another topic we was going to cover. But go on.
Just throw Tramp under the fucking wheel.
No, God, no, I wasn't.
The
until
black
Mitch, you
box,
thought that.
right? Yeah, of course. So she's a WEF, obviously, lady. The EU are bringing out these black boxes that apparently are all going to limit speed. So she wants to ban speed limits, smart motorways, and yet her people are big on carbon dioxide, big on climate change, big on speed limits, getting rid of cars. Who's going to believe her?
Oh, I don't.
Well, no. I mean,
Don't trust
and
any of the cunts. It's bollocks.
well, these black boxes that I mean, they're already in EU, aren't they? All new cars from May. May they have to be fitted, and within 2 years from May, all other cars have to be fitted with these boxes, right? And like Gavin's just touched on a point, sometimes these things don't recognise speed limits or whatever, or you come across a speed limit, and I mean my car, everybody, and don't say it's an electric car, Gavin, because I'm going to kick you where it is. It has sign recognition on it. You know what I mean? So as you come down road, the sign, it reads the signs. But it sometimes goes on roads and it'll read a sign and it'll make its own mind up what that speed limit is. And I'm looking at it thinking, I can see it says 60. You've just said it's 40. What the hell's going off there?
I'm sorry, and the car will interrupt you in all that.
What? Yeah, it'll tell
The car will make you sort of slow down because it reads the sign wrong.
No, it's not that. Mine ain't got one of them black boxes on. But it like I said, it reads apparently, yeah, it reads the signs. But like I said, sometimes it reads the signs wrong.
Oh.
And like I said, it's like if you've got this system and it's all in Europe and it's making them mistakes. Can you imagine? Here you go. You're going through down road. It says on your thing, it registers 30 miles an hour, but it's actually a 20 zone, and there's a copper behind you, and he grabs you. You know, well,
Yeah, put it the other way around. Yeah, as opposed to fucking pooing on your party doing 60 when you should be doing 60. It's gonna fucking poo on your party, make you go doing 60 when it's a 40 zone. Yeah. Yeah. Totally with you.
So it's going to catch people out. People are going to get points, lose their licenses and things like that. Because you'll think about it, right? These black boxes that are fitted in new cars. So you're going down road. It's a 40 zone. It then turns to a 60. So you're opting up to 60. You put your cruise on and away it goes, and then it drops to a 40. And it starts to slow you down because it's read the sign ahead of it, which says it's a 40. So it slows down to, so you can push your foot to the floor as much as you
what
like.
happens if you
Right.
see a fuck off great big fucking lorry coming up behind you whose brakes have failed or whatever it may
Fucking
be?
hell, you've
You've
got
got
bad
no-
drivers as it is. Imagine if the car starts interrupting
Yeah,
them.
do you know what I
Fucking
mean?
hell.
Here's another one for you. How many of you gone out to the villages and the local kids have got over the 30 mile per hour the national speed limit sign on the opposite side and turned it for shits and giggles? So you coming out that village and it's telling you you're on a 30 mile per hour road. You're stuck on that road for a good while, even though it's a national speed limit.
Yeah.
You know,
But-
it's control that you don't need.
Having said that, thinking about it, does that not beg the question? If the speed limits are regulated by the highways, then there would be a database of speed limits. Wouldn't need the road sign. Wouldn't need it. You just need the fucking black box to talk to the database.
You could have that, but bearing in mind you've got stuff similar on a sat nav, and how many times, I mean, especially with a HGV sat nav, I get problems with it all the time telling me the speed's different to what it actually is. You know,
Yeah.
the sat nav will say you're on a 50 mile per hour road, you're not, you're on a 40. And I have other occasions where it tries to take me off the road I'm on that it thinks I'm not allowed to be on and tries to fuck me off down the road with a low bridge on a 7.5 ton weight.
Oh, I've known a bloke with a bridge as well. It took him down a road and he ended up in a bridge somewhere.
Yeah. I wonder- But I mean, just quickly, because I'm going to be losing signal, but it was something else I wanted to touch on with two other people in here that have both got car and motorbike licenses. Because at the end of the day, you can put all the safety technology you want into a car. The best thing to do is to teach the fucking operator of the vehicle how to be a better operator. What's one thing, Tiny and Caldera, you say that was a big difference between your motorbike and your car, mainly focusing on mod 1?
Well, for one start, is you do the active swerving around an obstacle at speed and bringing yourself back in line and coming to a safe stop.
Yep.
But
You've
don't get
learned
that.
SAW.
Yeah.
Swerve avoidance whilst maintaining control. You know, in a car, it's doing an emergency stop on a dead road.
Yeah.
You don't get in a motorbike, and you learn this as well after you've been driving for a while. I hope you guys have. Is target fixation. You carry on looking at that fucking tree on a motorbike, you're hitting that tree, and it's the same thing for cars. You know, so, you know, like instead of them teaching you, right, you're in a car and Bambi stood in the road in front of you, or Doris has decided to jump out of a car and have a picnic, to bring your car, slow your car down in a safe manner, as quick and safely as you can, and then how to swerve and avoid around her. Because
especially if it's an Extinction Rebellion, somebody who's glued themselves to the road.
I don't know why I can't see them. I don't know if I've got something wrong with my eyesight with Extinction Rebellion. It just cleaned in with the tarmac. It's just like the migrants in Calais. I just can't ever see them, but I hear a lot of banging noises.
Talking
But,
about
allegedly.
Extinction Rebellion, just for a second, did anybody else see the report that Extinction Rebellion managed to get into the Houses of Parliament and glue themselves to the Speaker's chair? Or was I looking at a bullshit bollocks?
You were right.
You were right. Yeah.
How the fuck did they get into the Houses of Parliament?
Let in, photo op, let out, release.
Yeah. No charges. No damages.
Yeah, you can tell they're part of the government.
You know what I mean?
They're part of the propaganda, aren't they?
Yeah. But, well, talking about that, vegan Extinction Rebellion. What? How many arms are they going to have of this Extinction Rebellion thing? They are planning on taking over and stopping milk production. Yes.
Yeah, you see, these farmers have shotguns. Don't dice with Darwin.
Mate, the farmers ain't got jack shit. They're being squeezed every fucking nickel and dime by the majors. By every bit of profit they have to undercut, and then they're being screwed by our own fucking government, and then they're being offered early fucking retirement. This is all fuckery of the highest fucking order.
Yeah, all to do with beef, cows, milk,
methane.
Yeah, and this Extinction Rebellion cow thing, or getting rid of all these animals. The one thing that they're all getting is makes me laugh. I mean, because somebody please explain this to me. And I know this is going to sound off the cuff. Vegetables, when they break down, create more methane. Because, no offense, what does a cow eat? Grass or hay, with a bit of a wheat now and again. You know what I mean? Mostly they're eating grass, yeah? So if their poop is causing...
No, stop you there, mate. No, the methane that they're talking about now is not from their fucking farts, it's talking about their burps.
I mean,
seriously.
What did they do? What did they do? Grab a couple of cows, stick a thing around
something like 2.3 trillion. Yeah, they did. They've done the calculations. 2.3 trillion tons or something.
Pumped it up with air.
Yeah. Seriously, it's not their farts. It's now their burps because of their what are they called? With the three tummies. Oh fuck me! Come on.
I wonder if they put in the wind through their ass. To make them burp.
They've proven that they can actually stop that by adding something to the diet. So therefore, we've got no problem with that. Let's leave cows alone. Because let's face it, from one animal, you can get so much, which is so good for you. You get cheese, you get milk, you get yogurt, you get cream. You know what I mean?
Steak.
You don't get that from a sheep.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were on cows. So, lamb.
Sheep birds as well.
I was going to say, they work it out that 1 litre of water to create 1 litre of dairy milk, and to create your old vegan nut milk from fucking almond beans is like 150 litres to create 1 litre of nut juice.
God,
Yet don't use cows.
Yeah.
And don't worry about global warming. We'll just carry on importing fucking avocados from a third world shithole. Fucking make your mind.
Middle-class kids that are dumbed down.
It's going to be on a joke wheel. I think, and not only that, they were in Harrods pouring milk all over the floor.
Again, they've done it. They did it a few years ago, then they did it a couple of weeks ago, and they did it again a few days ago. The fucking rare cunts.
Right? Now, the thing that gets me, if it's not staged, which I think it is, because let's face it, if I was a security guard, they'd be rolling in that milk, screaming.
Well, that's why they didn't do it at Tesco.
Yeah,
but Callow, we had the conversation where you were talking about what a security guard can and cannot do.
Yes, but here's the thing: when you destroy or which is pouring that milk on the floor, you are now committing an indictable offence. And when you commit an indictable offence, you can then use minimal force to put them to the floor or remove them from the premises. If they then refuse to be removed from the premises, then you place someone to a citizen's arrest. If they then start getting leery, then you can actually pin them to the floor, which these guys will get leery because that's the way they are.
Okay, I got it.
If you pour milk on the floor, what's it doing? It's creating a danger for starters.
Also, it's health and safety. Fuck me.
Yeah. If you ask them to stop, a matter of fact,
And the
technically,
actual fact, yeah, in that last one from a few days ago, did you not see it? Well, maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm sure
But
I
I
did
saw-
see that they were standing inside a cordoned off. They're all, albeit they're like very short cones, yellow cones with
Probably paid for the milk.
yeah, with security tape around it. You know, going, you know. I'm
Yeah.
sure I fucking saw that. That could have been
Yeah, alright.
photoshopped.
it
though.
looked like
It's
to me.
20 quid.
If you watch that video again, it looked like the staff were helping them take milk off shelf. They were
Well, they'd
holding-
already bought the milk, as I said. They'd give them 50 quid. We're going to just throw a few litres around. Here's the money.
Right, so at the end of the day, there's something not right about it. And why are big companies like this pandering to this vegan lifestyle? One, it's not sustainable. I mean, because these plonkers have turned. It made me laugh when I heard them talking. One of them was on with, I can't remember her name now, but she was giving this idea that we all need to have a vegan lifestyle because 50% of our land is done for farming. And we need to rewild more of this land because it soaks up more water. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, have we got a water shortage? But hey, I'll forget that one. You know, we'll forget the leaks that where roads are shut off. Oh, that's another thing. Water boards. When you dig a freaking hole, start digging a road up because of a water leak. Don't stop when weekend comes. Carry on doing it and stop the leak, you morons. Rant over. Anyway, the point of the matter is that they're saying we need to rewild more thing. As far as I'm understanding, we've rewilded 10% more anyway than we've ever done because some farmers have took it into their own thing to protect the bees because obviously the bees, I mean, a lot have been killed off. But some farmers are now having some of the land near where the fields are and planting plants so that grow all year round so that these bees, they obviously moved about and they then pollinate the plants that are in the fields. So they are redoing certain parts of it. Now, to turn around and say, well, we can rewild, so we'll say 10% and then get rid of all cattle and then all live off vegetables. Where do these people get this idea from? Let's look back, okay, to the times of Robin Hood, you know, and let's look when they were living just off the land. Don't forget, you couldn't kill a deer, you couldn't kill rabbits, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, because if you did, you were prosecuted and you spent time in prison because you were stealing off the land of the royals, yeah? So they had to survive on vegetables, which a lot of them ended up with cabbage soup because that's all they could afford, yeah?
Oh, sure. I saw that deer. It fell out of a tree. I didn't kill it.
Yeah. But the point of the matter is, a lot of people went hungry. A lot of people nearly starved. Now, let's be honest. Are we heading that way now? Is this what these vegans want? Because if
Well,
that's
we've got the activism, haven't we? So we've got House of Commons, Extinction Rebellion. We've got these people, the vegans, that are doing the milk. All photo opt, all let in, all let to do it. None of them arrested. Is that right?
Yeah. So, end of the day, it's a con. Why are they conning us? Why are they trying to make us either eat bugs or be vegan?
Well, it goes with the climate change agenda as well, isn't it? And eating bugs and blah, blah, blah. Getting rid of farmers, getting rid of animals.
Vegans couldn't really give a fuck about this. They really couldn't. political activists have hijacked that, same as they've done with the LGBT, BLM, fucking take the knee, fucking Formula One. Most people couldn't give a fucking flying what the person next door does. They do it for themselves. I know vegetarians and vegans that couldn't give a fuck what I eat. They don't preach to me. They say fuck all. In actual fact, they'd be happy to cook me a steak. They do it for their own.
It's no use talking about your wife like
that. They don't give a fuck. They do it for their own personal reasons, and they would never impose their thoughts or ideals on anybody else about it. You fucking do you, I'll do me is their attitude, and it's multiple of them. It's like, you do you.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
that's
money
right.
in it somewhere, isn't there? Follow the money.
Exactly. These are political activists.
Yeah. And who's paying them? Who's making them do it? What's their agenda? Well, we all know their agenda.
Have you guys also heard about the drink sewage water as well?
Yep, I fucking will have.
Well, California's been doing it for a long time, haven't they?
So what? Somebody enlightened. Go on.
Okay, so you can eat the bugs, the drink sewage water, instead of the water coming from a reservoir to your tap, it comes straight from the sewage plant after it's been treated to your tap.
Or you can jump in the Ganges and have a good pint.
Yeah.
They already do that, and where is it? Is it Las Vegas or something?
Yeah, mate, I think it was somewhere in America. I heard it 2-3 days ago about the sewage, and that everybody's been advised to stop the fuck drinking water. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Not
nice.
quite eat shit.
Or tap water, I should say. I beg your pardon. Yeah.
Well, that's at the end of the day. What did we expect? I mean, it's America. You know, they haven't got the best water treatment systems going, have they? And don't they have to have them filter things in their house?
No.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Germans tell them not to bath.
Right. I'm sure a lot of them have these, like, you know, like, oh, blimey, that. A lot of places have them. I remember a place when I worked. When they first built the building, the agreement were that they would not be connected to the mains water system, so they used only the water that they collected from rain, and it went through like its own treatment sort of plant thing to get all the things out and that, and they put chemicals in it. But it went through it looked just like a big bottle, and it went through this bottle, and it had like, I don't know, charcoal thing or whatever in it, and you'd then go into a heater, and then it'd be boiled, and then you could make a cup of tea with it, but you couldn't drink it straight from the tap because for obvious reasons it hadn't been cleaned that thoroughly. So yeah, but I suppose that's in certain parts of America they have it.
Well, I've got a bottle myself. You can get 4,000 litres of clean water from river water, or etc. etc.
Oh, there you go. Kat says they have a filter system.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Oh, she's on her own well water. So they're not in the city. We have filter systems at work. So there you go.
In America.
Yeah. So ask an American and you get a frigging answer. Right. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, why are they pushing all this veganism? I mean, it's, if we get rid of all animals, well, for one side, we've got to slaughter them to start with. I thought they didn't want us killing animals.
Okay.
The world is being destructed, isn't it? It's being deconstructed. It's being taken down to, well, we're not really at this level now in evolution. We're going to all build back better well, you're not. Yeah, you're going to take us all back, what, to the Stone Ages? That's what it
Yeah.
seems to me.
Well,
If they do that, they won't be building back better because they won't exist for causing this shit.
Well,
So I still think what they're actually after is feudalism. We have to ask permission to leave our area. Basically communism, but worse. That's how I see that this is
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
We
Okay.
Even
are
worse.
slaves.
I've got one for you. If our prices are going through the roof, which they are, if inflation is going through the roof, if our petrol, I mean, it has come down a bit, but it's ridiculous, then there's every possibility that there's going to be a lot of people being cold over Christmas, I would have thought. And there's a lot of businesses, and by that, because there's a lot of businesses that can go bust. And so therefore they're going to have nothing.
The
Absolutely
Great
nothing.
Reset.
That they might have some savings, and that would protect them from being able to get any government assistance because they have some savings, and maybe they have a property or two. But you need to sell all of that property, despite the fact that it's, you created it all. But at the same time, we can rejoice. We really can. Because our government is giving out things called, what are they called? It's called Aspen cards.
Huh? What the fuck is that?
Aye, and we're not talking about Colorado.
We're getting
No,
free
we're
flights to
not.
Aspen.
No, yeah, indeed. That's, you would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yay, skiing holidays!
It's a...
for the migrants.
It's, yes, and before we even get on to this fucking debit card system, there's just money put onto the card for them by you and I that we didn't ask for. They're all in hotels. How many? When I just said people are going to go cold at home, how many hotels that are being taken over by the government that we pay for?
Oh yes.
Are they hiding the benefits? Do you think they're
they-
hiding the benefits?
Are the hotels going to go cold over the winter? Oh, I fucking doubt it. It's fucking pissing me off.
Here's a thought, and I know this is going to sound awesome. This is going to be brilliant. But this is where you will get to actually meet these migrants. These hotels that are being funded by us, the taxpayer. I think all the old people should be allowed to turn up, get a free a breakfast, a dinner, and a tea, kept nice and warm, all the way up until, we'll say, 8 o'clock at night, where they could then trundle off home and then come back the next day. I mean, let's face it, folks, we're already paying for it. You
want to send an elderly old OAP Widowworth woman? Oh no, we can't call them women anymore, can we? You want to send one of them off to one of these migrant hotels? It's 4-letter word, starts with R.
Are you implying that these migrants wouldn't be able to control themselves? Are you implying that?
Yes.
No,
yes.
You meant they're all rappers.
Yeah, the thing is, I was going to go for farmers because they're looking after the rapeseed, but that was just me.
Oh.
Oh. But here's the thing, Gammon.
Did you hear about that?
I did think about this. You see, the thing is, these rooms would be. These poor migrants would have to be locked in the rooms. You know what I mean? I know it's a damn shame, like, you know what I mean? But they are here illegally. And yeah, they'd be okay. They'd be nice and warm. And they'd be fed. So, a bit like when you break the law, you get sent to prison. Well, that'd be a good idea. That sounds like a corker of an idea. They all broke the law by coming here illegally. Instead of giving them £170 a week, why don't we give them some hard labour and a nice warm prison cell?
Now that's
I've
put
got a
on to
better
a card,
idea.
isn't it? It's put onto a card, 175. Now, is that bypassing benefits to hide their benefits from us, or is that just part of the benefit? Well, obviously they'll get legalese. But yeah, so what do you reckon? Do you reckon
Well,
are they getting 175 a week?
if they're getting £175 a week, why? No offence. They're getting £175 a week. That is £75 or £80 or whatever more than what people on the dole are getting. Now, I'm sorry. They've come here illegally. They're just giving them money left, right, and centre. They're paying for whatever. Now, my point is this: if they are proven that they are not actual asylum seekers and that they actually came here for, if you like, economic reasons, yes, economic reasons, then the total amount that they've had given to them, they then should be made to pay back. I'm sorry. We can't keep just. We have people that, especially the older generation. I mean, if it's right what they're saying, by April next year, that's going to be £6,000 a year for your gas and your electric. These pensioners get £9,000 a year. How the hell can they feed themselves, pay the council tax, and put food on the table, and pay £6,000 out for the gas and electric? Which, let's face it, if you're elderly, that's going to be more, because at the end of the day, they're at home.
Mate, the elderly suffer. I mean, I'm a hot freak. I love being hot. I hate being cold. I get cold. But the elderly boys, they fucking need heat. It's a killer for them.
Yep.
They need it. And, it's... Oh, crikey.
Essential.
Yeah, I've been around to the older generation's houses, and they're fucking free, and I'm roasting my tits off, and I love the heat. And they go, "Oh no, I'm so cold." They need the heat.
Right, but that's the thing.
It's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, and then
Hang on a second, Cal. I've just realised something on this, and let me know if my prediction's correct. Just a quick one. They're still pushing the Wu flu narrative quite hard. Now, Wu flu has a very similar look to pneumonia, which affects the elderly. What's going to happen with the elderly if they can't afford to run the heating because they want to eat at some point that week?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to end up coming down with pneumonia. What's the fucking betting that come December, January, February, we're going to be seeing it on the news that there's been an increase in flu deaths?
Well,
which is actually pneumonia.
Another thing I've heard is with the flu jab is that I've been noticing a couple of people that have had the flu jab that have been quite ill after it, which makes me
my family did.
suspicious.
This was before the pandemic happened.
Makes me quite suspicious.
Yep.
But I'm one of those type of guys anyway.
Well, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, we know what's coming this winter. If we have a bad winter, then I should imagine that the death rate for if we have a bad winter will double to what we had, or maybe higher than what we've had seen before.
They'll blame it on climate change.
Well, the thing is this. All right, let's take a really good look at this so-called climate change, right? You have Pakistan with floods, yeah? You have India cooking and China cooking. And they're still calling it climate change? No. It is not
the history of the world.
Yeah. It is not climate change when one part of the frigging world's got rain and the other part...
Stop. You use the right words. Of course it's climate change, but it's not man-made climate change.
No, it's regional climate.
Yeah. The climate changes
Yeah.
regionally from day to day, year to year, second to second. It's not
Yeah.
man-made.
Through the world's history.
It's
Hang on.
not.
Are you saying to us, Flux, that like the weather changes every couple of days? Are you also saying that at a certain part of the year we get like a lot of sunshine, a lot of heat, and other
Hey,
parts of the year we'll get a lot of rain and snow? I don't believe you.
I'm
It can
not
change
It's made by
20
climate
degrees
change.
in one day.
second. And I'm also not suggesting that England just happens to be one of the most changeable, if not the most changeable,
Very so.
climate in the world. We get more
Definitely.
differentiations than any other country, insofar as I
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, here we go. We have all these youngsters running around
Next,
screaming.
you're going to be telling us
I've heard the ice caps have actually
it's got
grown.
nothing to do with climate change. It's
Right. Well,
Gavin,
Sorry,
you're
Gav.
cutting in and out.
You say, Gav?
Concern that no, they're still shrinking. But let's forget NASA because they're
No,
not.
the solar, the southern polar caps expanded, and
Yeah,
the
they
and
have.
the Arctic ice shelf has expanded and decreased and expanded and decreased, just as it has done since records began. They're talking cunt wank.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, we've touched on this before. I mean,
Yeah.
all these spots that are like Obama and all that lot have all gone with climate change and that.
And
It's
we've
eating
covered
up,
this.
the sea levels are rising. And what have they all done? That's right, they bought property on the coastline.
And we've
So-
covered this. It's a Ponzi scheme through the IPCC. We covered this well before Free State fucked off to
Yeah.
live a life of luxury somewhere.
But at the end of the day, it's like, come on. When are people going to actually wake up? Come on, people. I mean, it's getting beyond a joke now. I'm fed up of telling you. Wake up, you bunch of clowns. You
Ding,
are.
ding, ding, ding.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not looking at your energy bills enough by now.
Please, people. Please.
Well, it's like that. They've turned around, and said, the gas prices have gone down. But this was before they made the thing for the energy cap. Excuse me. Well, let's back. Did you just say before you made? So let's get this straight. Gas prices have gone down. So the energy cap's coming in on that time. So you've got plenty of time to alter it to take into account the gas has gone down. So why aren't you doing that? Oh, that's right. It's because you're a bunch of cunts and you just want to charge as whatever. It's like with oil price. Fuel prices are still high, but yet oil's dropped. Why? I mean, we were talking about this. I can't remember what body it is that's supposed to monitor diesel and petrol prices. I remember a couple of years back they got a rattling because the price of oil dropped dramatically, but fuel prices were so high. So
Would it be off, Jem?
It might be, yeah. If you remember, they fined them millions of pounds for not lowering prices quick enough. So why aren't they doing this now?
Can we look into see how much they actually give themselves as a bonus every year? Also, their annual salary. That might answer a question or two of where all the money's gone.
Well,
you could just quickly
Google it.
We're still 50p dearer a litre than last year.
Oh,
At least.
Well, I'm still waiting, and I think it's going to come near Christmas. My advice to anybody out there, if you're listening, and pass the information on, start buying stuff now, because in October prices are going to go up with a bang.
Oh yeah.
Because what is coming?
We might have to club together and get a steam engine.
Already noticed, even baked beans. 149.
Where are you
can.
buying your baked beans from?
Yeah, I was just about to say, Jesus Christ.
Wait,
Harrods.
You can shop some Waitrose. He's
Yeah.
posh. I thought I told you this.
Yeah.
Fucking importing them at those
With his
prices.
caviar.
Yeah, and this Stella Artois.
Stella Artois.
Fuck off.
You're just jealous. You wish you had a Waitrose.
Yeah.
No, mate, I don't. I've got a waitress.
Henry VIII charms in.
Oh,
But we sat here laughing, but at the end of the day, if our politicians won't help us, what are we gonna do? You know, we need to do something. We can't just,
Violent revolution.
oh, Free States in chat. Back time.
Hip hip.
We've been running
I
what
didn't,
been running nearly
I
an
didn't
hour.
realise how the internet signal in Blackpool.
Right. I mean, I should imagine Blackpool lights will be a bit dim this year. But like, yeah, you know,
You're kidding. They'll just raise the bloody rent down there.
right. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you think about all the business, how much business rates cost, and they get squaddly dip. They don't get the bins empty because they have to pay to have them emptied separately by another company. And it's like, hang on a minute, what are you paying rates for then? What are you paying business rates for if they're not doing this as part of your business rates?
It was
You know?
it was in Rotten Pot. I'm sure it was Rotten Server that I saw. It was a traditional sausage company. £73,000 utility.
Wolves. I mean balls.
Yeah, sausages.
Yeah.
Sausages.
Good Ed.
I'm sure it's a
Right.
company in Cornwall. It had COWN, I think. Might have been Wales, to be honest, but yeah, it was either Wales or Cornwall.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Rates are too high. You've got, I mean, it's no good. They say, well, we need the money. What do you need it for? Because from
Well,
where
to give
I
it to Ukraine, you fucking xenophobe.
Well,
Bigot.
look, I'm sorry. I mean, I watched the thing with Americans. They're 30 trillion in debt.
I know.
They're borrowing money at 1 trillion a
You're not
year or
wrong.
something to keep themselves afloat. But yet, they're giving money away to Ukraine.
And they've
When
printed more
will
money in the
they-
last 12 months than they've done in the history of the Fed. Of the Federal
Yeah.
Reserve. You know,
Us
it's like,
too.
what could
Right.
possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Oh dear.
I mean,
I-
Ukraine was used for money laundering before this thing happened, so just pointing that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, well, long before.
Yeah.
That's what we were spoke about it earlier. The corrupt Clintons and the, well,
It's like,
backstreet
it's like living
Bidens.
inside One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it is. It's lunacy, and it's not supposed to make sense, is it? We're supposed to be in this state of. We voted.
It
for
does
people
to
and
us.
This is happening. What?
It does to us. It make we see it all, but these normies who live in their little bubbles, still watching through the square window. These are never, when are you going to finally wakey?
And I'm still reeling over when Boris said the British people will pay higher prices.
No, we won't.
Ju-
Fuck off, cunt. Well, we will. Not with your
Hey, Boris,
fucking
have you ever
Fuck
tried
fuck off.
Boris? Have you ever tried
Yeah.
crowdfunding? Because don't fucking
Yeah.
demand it from us. It's
You
not
scum
mandatory.
bastard.
It should never be mandatory through tax. If he wants to send money across there, he should crowdfund it.
Well, he should take it out of the pension pots of the politicians. I mean, I wonder how
Who
quick
the fuck was I listening to today? It was a political commentator. I forget who it was, but only earlier on today, and they voted Conservative with Boris, and they were saying that he's an absolute nightmare, and he's got it all wrong, and he's a cunt. but he's still, at the moment, was still a better choice than Corbyn. And I'm like,
Oh.
well, this gets back to what we're saying. There is no left and right. They're all fucked. We either get the
All the
Conservatives
uni
fucking
party.
us this way, or we get the Corbynites and the Socialists fucking us the other way. It's like a... wow.
I'd like to see how many are linked to the WEF.
Yeah.
Wait
I
until
think,
October comes. That's all going to change.
I
What do you
personally
mean?
think it's, yeah,
Everything's gonna change when October comes. Everyone's going
Why?
to be pissed off at the government when no one can afford fuck all.
I don't think you're right, mate. I think there are people going to be suckling on the teat of the government's fucking booby.
It's going to collapse.
Give
Can't keep
me
printing
free money.
Mhm.
yeah, but the point of the matter is that they've already turned around. You've had all these, you've had Liz Truss and that Shushi, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they actually, yeah, screwed up, and they should have never have locked down like they did, because the amount of damage and the amount of money that they borrowed and this. I'm sorry, you need to be took to account. You need to be told, right, your wages are getting cut in half, and that money that we're going to take off you, because your wages are getting cut in half, is going to be put into the pot to pay for some of this debt, because you're expecting people that never got any of this money to start help paying it back. And I'm sorry.
Between TETS and PPE, the actual government give our money to probably their mates.
Yep.
Yeah. And you think about all these. I mean, how much have they lost through these so-called grants that they give to these businesses? Yeah, they took all money. What 11 billion or something they got missing. They can't find, and it's like, really? What do you mean you can't find it? Well, we sort of granted it to them, but
Yeah.
it's gone missing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
even give money to the opposing them.
No, you're right, Colour.
Yeah, have some
You're
money
right.
to oppose us.
You're right.
Money
we
Yeah.
to
give them
China
money.
and India.
I mean, just try and explain that in. I do beg your pardon. In any other business environment, that money there,
Well, yeah.
where did it go? Oh, well, it sort of went somewhere over there, but we can't really be sure about the breakdown of it. Really? Really?
Yeah,
The
all the-
HMRC would have a fucking problem with you.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love you being audited. I'd love the
Yeah.
government to be audited.
That's
My
the thing,
God.
isn't it? Why isn't the government audited? Why aren't any of the? You look in Scotland. Why isn't she being audited? Why, why in Wales
Yeah,
they being
exactly.
audited? Why aren't they being
We
audited?
know why. We know
yeah,
why.
yeah, because
Because
the
it's fucking
questions.
bollocks.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we know exactly why. Because technically speaking, if they did get audited, we won't have any politicians. Because they'd
Hey,
all
maybe
get
we should crowdfund.
fraud, allegedly.
Maybe we should crowdfund, for a big fee, get top lawyers with a huge crowdfund to go and audit the government. Because surely we've got a right to audit our own government.
Well, yeah, but like,
Mm.
I mean,
Oh, well,
but
yeah,
what?
shout out to
what-
another channel, Audit the Auditors.
Well,
Yeah,
guess
mate,
what?
yeah.
They'll just say not
Yeah,
in the
right, they
public's
will.
interest, won't they?
Yes, exactly. Not in the public's interest. That's what you get.
Yeah.
I'll just
Oh,
write me
In other
will
words,
now.
it's worse than we think.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? When they turn around and say that, hang on a minute. You should be able to ring somebody up, your politician, and say, "Hey, for your area," and say, "Hey, oh, your MP for your area," and say, "Hey, I want to know why you and your OIC think it's not in the public's interest, and I want you to prove that it's not in the public's interest."
Yeah.
They won't. They'll just tell you not to. They'll just say you can vote on the next general election if you're not happy with what we're doing. I mean, we all know the politicians are the BCCC. They're either blackmail, cowards, complacent, or fucking corrupt, allegedly.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, but like,
Touching back on what you was Thingy was just saying a minute ago. I mean, come this winter though, the thing that's going to get me, rather than people waking up they're going to be turning around to the government and go, government, daddy, please come and fix it for us. Okay, but you've got to give us more power for us to do these things to fix it. People notice this so far. It's you give the more power you're giving the fuckers, the worse it's getting. So keep giving them more power is not working. It's fucking you up. Which is why when people turn around and go, "Oh, why don't you trust the government? Do you trust them as well?" And they're like, "Well, no." Then why the fuck are you keep on voting and pushing for them to have more power to fix problems?
No alternative.
It's not hypothetical.
No,
you
I said I
the
got a hypothetical here.
Right, go on.
Okay, let's say this winter was happening. And no matter what way you look at it, someone's getting into debt, right? A big chunk of people. Let's say they're going to push this cashless society hard. The best way.
Not.
Hang on,
Let
bear
him
with
finish.
me. Yeah, let's say millions and millions of people get into debt, and they go, "Well, we'll give you 20% off your debt back in this Bitcoin, right? To get rid of cash." And people's going to vote on that offer because they're going to be in so much of debt. What choice are they going to do?
Yes, seems like a big plan, doesn't
I
it?
like
Good one,
that.
Kush.
I like that. Yeah.
It's only a guess, but it's kind of the sneaky trick they would pull.
But it was Rishi
Yeah.
that pushed the Bitcoin, wasn't it? Well, I say Rishi pushed it. Oh, fuck you, do my trying to kid. Yeah, he was told to push it, so Liz will take it anyway. Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, it's
Well, they're both part of the same organization.
Yeah, exactly. Of course they are. Yeah, I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're quite right.
I mean, at the end of the day,
can switch off.
that's you will lose innovation. You know, I mean, people need to realise that nothing's for free. If you know it, and they need to be made to realise.
But most of us do, Cal. Most of us
Yeah,
do,
but-
and none of us are voting for any of this. This is the problem. It's saying
Yeah,
that
but the
people
point
need to
is-
realise this. Most of us, I think, do.
Look, mate, how many people were on furlough? How many people were on furlough? Millions
A
were on
lot.
furlough.
A lot.
Yeah, millions were on furlough. And to hear them talk, yeah, it was free money. Yeah, it's free money. Yeah, with nearly 2 years worth of free money. Yeah, no probs. Now the realisation's sinking in that it wasn't free, and this money's got to be paid back.
But Callow, there's also argument here. It wasn't down to the employees; it was down to the company who furloughed their people.
Yeah, but the people were still cheering, going, "Hey, free money! I'm going to go out and buy a new fucking TV."
Yeah, you look when it was on, right? We'll just take me in one specific trying to get a shed, a simple freaking shed was near enough. I had to wait a year and a half to get a shed because for some apparent reason, loads and millions of people had plenty of time to scour the internet to buy sheds where Muggins here, that was working all the way through it, didn't have plenty of time to scour the internet to buy a shed. So by the time I had my days off, all sheds were sold out because everybody, you know, other than that, the fact of the matter is I had to save up to buy the shed.
Now then, when he says shed, he means a doll's house, right? Just want to make that clear.
No, a shed to park a motorbike in is shit.
Right, well, okay.
You're really-
Direct-
really looking for a
direct-
bug
play
out.
with the pixies.
Yes, but people, he was going to buy it during his holiday, which happened to coincide with the fucking lockdown.
Yeah, let's not go into that. That was twice I had that done to me. That was nasty. Anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, before
let's
you
not rake
whinge
that up
anymore
again.
about your fucking shed, you
Yeah.
middle-aged crisis, you.
Yeah, yeah. But the point of the matter is, the fact is, I mean, when I was coming on from work, I was seeing all these houses having all this work done, gardens done, and I'm like, shit, they're getting some cash out of these buggers. Well, you think about it, right? They were getting paid. What were they getting paid? 90% of the wages, and then the government, the company,
No,
then were making.
I think it was 60%, and then the remainder by Oh, I could be wrong. I don't know because I didn't get it.
Well, end of the day, it were near enough full amount they were getting paid in end. But the fact of the matter is, if you were catching a train or whatnot to work, or driving a car, or stuff like that, that percentage that you weren't getting, you were saving anyway because you weren't going to work or travelling to work and using that amount of money, you know. So they were so they were spending all this money on having the gardens and that
I mean,
done.
there is a knock-on thing of this because certainly in the limited experience that I have in this industry, the lockdowns did make people find innovative ways to share information that ordinarily would require people to be in the same room together. But with a few technologies combined, they all existed on their own individually anyway. But because of the lockdown, those technologies, people thought,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, we can use that with that.
Hey,
And that means...
I completely learned smoke signals.
Well, what it meant
I learned
is
blink
that,
signals.
is that a lot of people around the world now suddenly had a lot more opportunity to get a lot more things done without actually having to travel anywhere. And it can be done in real time and with major benefits. And even if you're looking at the environment, okay? So let's just say that you have a major artist that needs to fly over there to do halfway around the world to do a studio session. No, you don't have to. It can all be done in real time over the net now because of various technologies that have been put together. You can now do lessons as a teacher, real time with real time audio and real time, voice like video like this. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And
I tried that.
And what has that further done? It's fucked us.
Isolated people.
It's fucked us.
Well, aren't they? Oh, that's when they've done a study, aren't they? And this isn't one of them where it's that all these kids now are having speech problems, communication problems because of the wearing of the mask. And you know what I mean? And you'll think about how many years worth of therapy these kids are going to have to learn to communicate and understand face movements, what a frown or whatever is of a face, because of these politicians pushing this shit with the mask. And that little shit guy.
Oh, what, the London guy?
Hancock.
No.
Oh, him.
Like the one that was saying Fauci. That's
Willie.
All right, here.
Whitey.
Fauci. You know, sat there wearing 2 masks. You know what I mean? I mean. Well, let's be honest. He could have covered his face. I mean, it would have been more prettier than
and
his
also,
face.
he's on video saying that he never advocated a lockdown. But yet he's on videos advocating lockdowns.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean,
don't believe your eyes and your ears.
See, here is the.
Say it as my twin brother.
Damn your lying ears.
Yeah, but
that snake isn't very good at lying.
It's just the fact of the matter is that they've done all this, and it's going to cost even more trillions to sort it out. And I think that's what people haven't realised. But not only that, you look at all these people that are going to die now.
Mate, it's an intentional collapse of the economy. That was intentional. These people aren't stupid. They're not.
Yeah, they can't enact their plans without collapsing what we got.
I'm going to advertise to take piano, to take lessons, you know, for people to come and learn piano off me. But I've got to learn to play the piano first.
Bummer.
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, looking at all the great empires, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Athenians, you know, fucking Middle East, back before it turned into a raging hellhole, all of these places. And none of them kind of have brought it onto themselves. It was always outside forces, and we could argue, say, WEF's an outside force, but our own, not even a small amount of our governments and our people that we've had, the majority are calling for this shit to happen, and it is orchestrated. It's too. I mean, I believe in coincidences, but I mean, Jesus Christ, the patterns are, you know,
not
it's
a
fucking
full house
it's
on the bingo card.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to a casino and some cunt gets fucking blackjack 50 times in a row, it's no longer a coincidence.
It's not cheating, honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
the
could we
dealer.
possibly bring? I mean, I know it's not any of our cunting business. We've got our own fucking problems. But Pelosi, oh, how many lucky guesses do you want to have on the stock exchange? Oh, you fucking little financial guru, you.
It's like a fucking soothsayer, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck me.
Hey, Mystic Meg.
Well, when you look at it, I mean, you look at all this shit, and I can't remember more. Game when shorting the stock of the Gamergate. Yeah. And they got caught out doing it, and people then bought shares in it and pushed the price of the stocks up, which then caused these
GameStop.
Yeah.
Not Gamergate. Gamergate's a separate thing.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean, yeah.
Alright, so it caused them to lose a lot of money. And in process, right, they stopped them trading.
Well,
now,
rigged.
Yeah, it shows you how rigged it is. So when you see all these companies giving it like, why don't you use what you call it to trade stocks? Yeah, why would I want to do that? It's rigged. You know, come on, be serious. You're just mugging us off. You want us money, so you can sit there and watch us take us money like we've worked damned hard for, and then laugh at us. I mean, it's pathetic.
I'm going to say goodbye, guys. I'll be back on in about 45 minutes to an hour.
All right, bud, take it easy.
Catch you later, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, fuck me. Everybody's an armchair doctor or an armchair lawyer or an armchair whatever. So
pianist.
Pianist, yeah. Not that I know anything about this, but isn't shorting the market like a standard practice in stock trading? Is it not?
Yeah, bear and something in it.
And it's perfectly legal.
It's legal.
I believe. I believe so. Shorting the market.
It's legal because of corruption.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
because it's not short. It's short. Mate, anybody here that tells me I'm being a dick and don't know what I'm on about, you're right. But it's only from what I've seen that.
Yes, isn't it called a bear and something else when they're doing our stocks?
There you go. You're talking over my head now, mate.
Bear and a rabbit.
Bear is someone who buys. Yeah, bears and bulls.
And then you got the bull market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I've heard the words.
Legal,
I understand nothing. Oh, is it illegal? Oh well.
No, it's legal.
Oh,
it's
right.
we won as bear and bull market, and it's legal. It's not illegal. It's legal.
Yeah,
so
that's what I thought. And so that is what was going on the Reddit posts. Is that they saw that somebody was being a cunt, insofar as I remember it, and decided to do something about it. And then what they then consequently did was short the company, and then all the brokers all started going bust. If memory serves me correctly.
Well, end of the day, that's how it should have been. That should go taste of their own medicine, because this is what they've done to ordinary standard people. You know what I mean? And anyway, if after the live stream, if you'd like to join us on Discord, there is a link. Reza has put the link in for Discord. Come and chat with us. So,
right. Come on, have a gas.
Like,
Are you
yeah.
saying you're a 30, mate? You're a fucking lightweight. We've got 8 minutes to go. What's up with you?
Who's off early? No, I'm not
Who's
off early.
God,
I said, when the stream ends, you daft git.
Typical
The
taco
Discord
watcher.
link's being posted by our lovely Rez.
Yeah. You put it into waiting time already, haven't you?
Oh,
I don't know.
what? Who's he talking to?
I
What?
don't know. I think he's got a fucking secret
You with
friend
your
sitting
taco.
by his fucking Gordon the Gopher.
But
Right,
like,
well.
no. So yes. Moving on. Right. Who do we think's gonna win? Liz Truss, or Shushy Schumacher?
Who cares?
But as Trump said, who cares?
Well, that's true, yeah.
Well,
But like,
yeah,
who do
who
you
cares? But who do you think? Yeah, I think it's a foregone conclusion that this is going to get it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, all trust up.
And more to the point, why the fuck wasn't that given out to a wider part of the public?
Well,
If
for one
if the
start.
majority voted for the Conservative Party,
Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if she got in, pretended to be Thatcherite, and brought in everything that we need? It's not gonna work.
well, she's done the Thatcherite part, hasn't she? Quite a lot. She's done the big bow that Margaret had. She's done the top of the tank that Margaret
The dress
did.
up.
Yeah. I wonder if that lady is returning as well.
Okay, yeah. Biden wanted
returning.
red. She wanted red. Fucking hell, what is it about these people? I'm the devil.
Well, thing is, at the end of the day, nobody liked fucking Margaret. Well, some people did. Some people love Margaret Thatcher. So let's be right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? So
I did.
I mean,
She took communism away from our country, put it that way. Because in the 70s, we were dealing with this now.
Hello,
Jim.
I mean, but then
yeah.
again, you'll get a lot of people saying that she decimated the coal industry, and I don't know whether that's a misunderstanding of
He
what actually
took
happened.
over at 15% fucking inflation. 15% inflation.
And what are we going to hit in January? What are we going to hit?
22.
22. Well, that's the high figure
Yeah,
I heard,
we're
between
back
20,
to communism, people.
21.7.
22%
communism now.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
No,
Back to
not
70s.
fuck off. Yes.
Well, that just proves that the government's so bad that the lot needs sacking, and that includes opposition party.
And also, you know, you see the Vatican City fucking recalling all of its money back into the Vatican. Well, it's a bank.
By September the 31st?
Yeah.
Well,
it's an official order from the fucking Pope.
Yeah. Unless he wants to buy a fucking G5 fucking airplane.
Charm says, I love Maggie. She had more balls than all of them put together. Yes, you might have done, but at least one thing, there was some fighting spirit back then. Even though whether you liked her or not, I mean, I personally didn't like her. I grew up. I'm going to do a Alex Bellend. I grew up in a mining village. You know what I mean?
From a pit street.
Pit estate.
Yeah.
With pita bread.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, she decimated them.
Kello, tell them that you can't tell them exactly what you mean on here. They have to pay to go behind your firewall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome if I had a firewall.
LittlePeople.com. Make sure you subscribe.
Carry on.
But it's at the end of the day, after all these miners got laid off, they were looked after, and I don't care what you say. And some of them are still being looked after because they're still claiming for shit that happened when they worked down pit. So at the end of the day, Margaret, you can pull her down and call her what you like. they got handsomely paid out where they could pay their mortgage off, buy a nice car, and have money sat in bank. And anybody can say that. I mean, I personally didn't like the woman, but yeah, some of the stuff she did was good. Some of the stuff that she did was terrible. But
I mean, one of the things that people pull her up on is the milk snatcher. But I would counter that with telling the EU to fuck off.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it was just
I
that. I
hated
mean,
milk.
I like my milk.
I
didn't
love
like
I
milk.
miss the tea cakes that used to come with them.
but end of the day, we should have never ever joined. She should have given us option to vote out.
Yeah.
She should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't. And I reckon if we'd have pulled out all that time back then, we'd have been in a lot better position now for what's going off.
The other
and-
twat
Father
verse
to
brought
say
that
the
in,
same.
didn't it?
Yeah. And I personally think that we should start investing money on gas storage and oil storage. I mean,
And fracking, opening up more oil fields, coal mines.
yeah. You know
Did
what I mean?
anybody? I mean, again, I saw the video. It must have been in either Rotten's channel or Haram's channel, news channel. Thank you again, Haram. Of this guy standing up saying, "Look, we right now underneath our feet, we've got so much coal and gas."
It's on GB News.
Was it
Yeah.
GB News? Right, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I watched it live.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
It came from
incredible,
Yorkshire,
wasn't it?
went across. Yeah.
Yorkshire, right? Thank you.
Well, they did a thing, didn't they? And they said that if we mined 10% of that shale gas, in it, what they call it, 10% of that shale gas, we'd still have 90% left in 50 years' time. So that shows you how much we've got.
And
yeah?
then we got nuclear on top of that.
Yeah. Me personally, I think that we need to stop with green stuff for now. I mean, let's stop with wind turbines and let's rethink these wind turbines because they're not efficient, and not only that, they're killing wildlife.
I heard there was some carbon emissions from them.
I don't know how they are killing wildlife because I was driving down. Anyway, I was driving near Sheppey, Isle of Grain, all of that. All of that sort of area, and they've got a load because it's a massive port for cars predominantly, and they've got these huge wind turbines, and it was really windy, and they're doing this. Now then, you've got to be some blind fucking bird to miss something going that slowly. Now, I'm sure the internal speed, obviously, is a lot quicker. But there is fuck all. A lot quicker, the opposite way around.
It's the birds of prey that it's killing.
But they're going so slowly, mate. Seriously.
No, you're not getting it. Birds of prey get focused. It's like motorbike riding, like Gammon said. If you focus on concentrate on something, like on a bike, when you're riding, you focus. If you get focused on a tree, you're going to hit that tree. They get focused on what they're going to kill, and they
don't see the outside world.
Yeah, the wind current gets dragged in.
Then how
the
did they
bird
survive?
gets in, and then
how do they survive?
I don't know exactly how they died, but all I know is that it's killing a very high percentage of.
No, I've heard it about bats, but anyway.
Plenty of pictures.
Anyway, that's really was a side issue. We are now over 2 hours.
Hey,
so on that note,
so if you like this, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you disliked it, leave us a comment. If you'd like to contribute, leave us a comment. But above all, give it a thumbs up and share it. So hopefully we can grow more and we can discuss more, because hopefully you will give us some ideas of things you want to talk about and everybody else can join in. Thank you very much.
Jesus loves those that care.
They love it when I turn up the bass.